to order 7:31. We'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we move on, I want to take a brief moment of silence for the ones we've lost this month, especially Chief Slangster's mom, Miss Slangster. So we'll take a brief moment of silence. Amen. Roll call.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
Greg.
Here.
Angela, absent. Sarah, here. Lisa.
Here.
Chris.
Here. All right. Moving on to the agenda approval. We have some additions. We forgot to add McKenna as our guest speaker. They're going to present the draft of the Parks and Rec plan. That'd be item number C, number 1. Item number H, new business items. Items 14 through 19. Request to approve of an amendment to the board agenda policy. Request to approve a work order change on the Shortcut Road Park. Request for approval to refer the water billing issue. Number 17, discussion and possible action on the Iowa Township Fire Department. 18, request for approval of payment on the second installment on the Shortcut Road Park building. And 19, a request to approve payment for accountants. Any other additions or deletions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda with the additions.
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda with additions.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor by saying aye? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Wow, moving right along. Item number C, guest speaker, McKenna. Ashley is here.
Give me 1 second, I'm gonna get my slides set up here.
Everybody's met Ashley? Okay.
At least over email.
All right, thanks so much for having me tonight, Greg and the board. It's a pleasure to have been working with your community for the last few months. I work really closely with Sarah and Greg. We meet monthly to work both on the Parks and Rec plan and the master plan, and I'm excited to report out on some of the progress that we've made so far and where we're at, and excited to hear some of your thoughts as well. So I will run through this agenda tonight. I'll give a brief introduction to myself. You'll see who else is on the team. We'll kind of reorient ourselves. What is a Parks and Rec plan? Why are we doing this? I'll talk about some of the community engagement that we've done thus far. I'll give you a sneak peek into the draft Parks and Rec plan, as well as the goals and objectives, which you have a copy in front of you. We'll talk a little bit about what the board's role is in terms of the Parks and Rec plan and the adoption process, and then we'll run through our next steps. And you can feel free to stop me and ask questions at any point. Okay, so my name is Ashley Jankowski. I'm an associate planner with McKenna, but we have a really strong team of planners that have been doing a ton of the groundwork behind the scenes to make this plan possible, who you may meet later on in the adoption process. Alexis also works with me to provide planning services outside of the Parks and Rec plan for the township, so you might see us at planning commission meetings. I had the pleasure of meeting Chris a couple weeks back, and we're really pleased to be a part of the community even beyond this plan. So what's a Parks and Rec plan? You know, why is this so important for the community? Parks and Rec plans are strategic documents that outlines the visions, clear goals, and clear objectives for the Parks and Rec facilities within the township over the next 5 years. And it assesses your current parks, really celebrates what's going well, the investments that are being made to date, while also listening to the community about what they want to see in terms of improved facilities, additional park services, some, you know, community programming. You know, what would really bring these facilities to life? What would become how would they become more of an asset to the community than they already are? Most importantly, these plans unlock funding for the township. They're required by the MDNR to access this grant funding. You have to update your plans every 5 years. And so we're hoping to position the township through this plan for some really substantial grant dollars based on what the community members want to see. And so the MDNR has very specific requirements. We do these plans all the time. I won't go through all these one by one, but all of these components are what would be required in a plan to have them accepted and then to, again, be eligible for those grant dollars. And we have an 100% acceptance rate with the MDNR. We have no problem meeting these standards. Greg and the administration has been extremely helpful in helping us gather the right documentation, the community engagement, so we are right on track to make sure that this is ready to go. The most exciting part, I think, of a Parks and Rec plan are the specific goals and objectives and actions that come out of it. And so every single Parks and Rec plan will have clear goals and objectives, but also strategic steps and timelines and estimated costs, so that depending on how much grants that you're able to acquire or how much is budgeted for the Parks and Rec programming throughout the year, you can kind of tailor and strategically choose, which projects to pursue at any given time. And so again, it should become almost like a roadmap that positions the city to meet its goals. And as a reminder, we are doing this Parks and Rec plan in parallel with the community's master plan. We see that there's a huge, efficiency to doing this. We did parallel community engagement efforts. We did a survey that assessed Parks and Rec preferences alongside some of these core master plan issues. So again, save time, save money, make sure that there isn't any engagement fatigue from the community, get them in one shot. And we wanted to ensure that everything that we're hearing for the Parks and Rec plan is carefully intertwined with the master plan and vice versa. And so we're going to make sure that all of the goals and objectives and actions that we see in this plan are also reflected in your master plan. Again, so everything's coordinated and efficient and just makes sense in terms of implementation. And I'll be coming back to talk about the master plan in the months to come. As a note, we're hoping to adopt this Parks and Rec plan in December and the master plan next summer. So parallel processes, one kind of gets adopted before the other, but we consider them to be companion documents. We have had so much fun engaging with your community to date. We have kind of tried to offer as many different varieties of engagement as we could to try to meet people where they were, kind of meet people in ways that make sense for them. We've had a project website running since June, which has just served as a hub for all of our engagement activity. Any events or any meetings like this have been posted on there as opportunities for the public to come and hear. We had an online mapping activity where folks could tell us exactly where they like to use recreation facilities or where they would like to see more in the township. We had a community survey that got 162 responses, which is about a 4.7% response rate, which is like really high in my opinion from what I've seen in other communities. Usually we aim for 3 to 4. And so a huge thanks to Greg for promoting it on the social media pages and for others who really helped, spread the word through other partners like the Washington Life Center and at Township Hall. And so it was a big effort to really get people to both fill out the digital survey and paper survey. And so thanks to the team before me for really making that possible. We also had a booth at the Hoods, Tunes, and Brews event where we, got to meet your community members, talk to them one-on-one. We had engagement boards where we had folks, tell us firsthand what they wanted to see, what they liked, and we got to actually enjoy one of your park spaces while doing it. We were right behind Township Hall, so really we feel proud of this engagement, and really we've been able to take what we've learned and woven it into the draft plan, and we'll talk a little bit about what we've heard. So,
At that event,
yeah.
quick, just a question.
Sure.
What was the overall, because we may do that yearly, what was the overall response you had from the people that were there?
Yeah, sure. And actually, it's woven right into these community priorities, but I'll jump to it. Folks want more community events. They loved the car show. They loved activating these, kind of central community gathering spaces for these events. We heard a desire for things like farmers markets or movie nights or concert series, car shows. Folks really just want to find ways to continue building community in that way. And so we felt like it was extremely positive that we heard from both on the ground when we were there, but also in the survey. And so that's one of the themes that we've heard. We tried to compile from all of our engagement this series of 6 themes. So one was, we want more programming, we want community events, like we have these awesome spaces, let's make them even better. One of the other ones we heard was waterfront access. Community members really want additional opportunities to enjoy the St. Clair River. They love the shoreline park and want to see that continue to be activated. Folks told us that they want to improve the parks that we already have, so expand some amenities and accessibilities at Cottrellville parks, things like, more trails, restrooms, some updated playground facilities, or some even shade over the benches, just to make sure that folks of all ages and abilities can enjoy the space and spend, an afternoon there comfortably. Folks mentioned that they would love to be able to partake in classes, programming, and skills building opportunities, things like, a fitness class, or even like a computer skills class, or, a crafting class. Again, these opportunities just to connect with each other, and, especially for seniors learning a new skill, getting that social interaction and utilizing your parks and rec facilities to do that. Community events we hit on. Non-motorized transportation, we heard a lot. Folks want more walking trails. A lot of folks were excited by the idea of the Bridge to Bay Trail and wanted to have these other ways of getting around and even connecting, being able to get connected between the 2 green spaces in town and other key destinations, and so that was a big priority. And then finally, and this one we actually heard a lot from the township administration rather than the community, but this desire for more capacity and relationship building around the recreation offerings in town. So, let's rebuild the Recreation Advisory Committee. Let's make sure that that advisory committee is, well-versed in this plan and have, grant writing capacity and understand, how to go after some of the goals that are set out by this plan. Or in terms of relationship building, how do we figure out who our strategic partners are in the township, other nonprofits, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, the schools, and figure out how we can, with a limited budget, really activate the spaces using, groups that are already working on this in town. So that's what we heard. In terms of park-specific priorities for Township Hall Park, again, folks want community events, they want classes, they think that more paved trails would be really helpful, and some shade over the benches. Obviously, you have great pavilions out there, but, I had the pleasure of just watching the, soccer, a bunch of soccer moms and dads out there, and so having some places where folks can maybe take a break at halftime, sit under the shade, is always makes it more comfortable. Some ADA accessible playgrounds, maybe some other sports and fitness spaces. Obviously, you see such great success with the soccer fields, maybe there's other opportunities there, and permanent restrooms, obviously, where we heard that a lot. And in terms of Shoreline Park, we know there have been some great volunteer work happening there, and community members want to continue to experience that and be a part of what's going on there. There's probably opportunities for, an accessible walking path or more shade over the picnic tables. Folks talked a lot about parking and figuring out, is there a different way to park, or is there a way that I can get there on my bike safely, so that I, maybe parking, that if parking can't happen, maybe there's another way to get there. And just maybe some opportunities for play structures or something small, just to continue to engage different members of the community.
A lot of good ideas.
So that's what we heard.
Yeah.
Any questions on, what we heard? I'm happy to speak more on that.
Anybody questions? No?
Yeah, we were really impressed by what we got a lot of thoughtful responses, and community members who are clearly invested in these spaces and want to elevate them. So with that, we took what we heard, we took what we, know from meeting with Greg and Sarah, every month, and we were able to create a draft plan. Again, this is in draft form. There's plenty of time for feedback, both from the board, but also for the community, and I'll talk more about that feedback period soon. But this is just inside what we have so far. So the key chapters of your plan include a community description, and it'll have demographics inside, really kind of showcase the whole context of Parks and Rec in your community, administrative structure, how decisions are made, what your budget is like, where you're getting funding from, and where there might be opportunities to get more funding. We did an entire inventory of both the parks and recreation facilities within the township, but also surrounding. So any state parks, any parks in surrounding townships or communities, those are all in there. Really wanted to show the breadth of recreation opportunities that residents have. And within that inventory, we celebrate the strengths, but also highlight some opportunities for improved facilities, improved accessibility. And remember that this goal has the intention of getting grant money, and so we really tried to highlight opportunities wherever we could, not necessarily to say that these spaces aren't great already, but to make sure that when you're going after grant opportunities, there's the need for this investment is clear. We talk a bit about our planning process. We summarize all of our engagement, everything that we've heard from the community. It's documented right in the plan. Folks can really see themselves, their own words in the plan. And then we offer an action plan and with goals, objectives, and then strategic actions, timelines, cost estimates to go with it. In that community description chapter, we have an overview of demographics and trends. We talk a lot about what we see, a snapshot of your population to date, and any key features of your population that are relevant for Parks and Rec planning. Things like age and family structure, things like disability status, things like income and accessibility that might affect someone's ability to enjoy a park, or might affect the types of programming that they might want to see. So really trying to understand what your population looks like, where it seems like it's headed, so that you can tailor your investments to exactly who is here and who's coming. We documented all of your physical and environmental characteristics, so, topography, wetlands, farmlands, any of the flood zones, just to make sure, again, if you are investing in park spaces, that you're doing so wisely and not in places that would compromise environmental quality in the future. And you have a set of updated maps and graphics. There's a snapshot of this, but there's plenty more in the plan. And we'll make sure that the city has all these maps and this data moving forward. They're pretty versatile, and it's just helpful to have this data moving forward if you want to quickly represent, demographic trends or any of your environmental features. So just as an add bonus, you'll get all this data in the maps. Again, all of your existing parks and recreation facilities and programming are all showcased in the plan. We have some really great pictures in there that really make it just showcase what exciting recreation assets that you have here. Again, we identify the strengths and any gaps that we see in the recreational offerings or the facilities, and any opportunities for accessibility improvements. Every park was offered an accessibility score based on ADA standards, and so again, that just shows some opportunity for making improvements moving on. Again, we have all of the planning process and the public input. Every single engagement activity is summarized in there. Also, photos and screenshots from all of our engagement is in there. every single step of our planning process, whether it's a meeting like this, whether it's, a forthcoming public hearing, all of that will be documented, so it'll be very clear to folks, how this project came to be. And then from all of this, you have an action plan that has 7 goals and a series of objectives. Again, this is based entirely on what we heard from the community and from the township board, and every single goal that we have in this plan is aligned with at least one of those key themes, if not more, that we heard from the community. So again, folks can really see themselves and their priorities in this plan. And you have it in front of you. It's this little sheet here. This is just like a 3-page excerpt from a much larger plan, but it lists all of the community priorities that I move through, and then every single goal, a series of objectives that we can move through. And I'll just name them for folks at home that might be listening. The first is to develop new and improve existing recreation facilities and programs to provide active and passive recreation opportunities that are accessible for people of all ages and abilities. The second is to expand and enhance waterfront access for residents and visitors. The third is to expand existing non-motorized paths and improve connectivity around the township. The fourth is to develop community programming and events at Cottrellville's recreation facilities. The fifth is to increase the township's capacity for and communication around parks and recreation opportunities. 6 is to foster relationships with local and regional entities to provide diverse and accessible recreation opportunities to township residents. And finally, expand recreational facilities within the township, and in that way, thinking about the number of recreational facilities. Are there opportunities to acquire additional land for Parks and Rec move in the future? So those are 7 goals. Again, there's a series of objectives associated with each of those goals that I won't necessarily run through, but you can kind of peruse them here and also in the draft plan. But happy to talk through any questions or thoughts you might have around those goals. In the plan itself, every single goal is paired with, again, those specific objectives, a series of actions that we think can help you meet those objectives, a partner that you might want to work with to get it done, estimated cost range, and a time frames. And it's high level in a way that, again, positions you for grant money and is flexible enough that, if you get a specific pocket of funding, you can you can adjust your strategy to be kind of opportunistic with funding that you get. So happy to hear any thoughts that you have. Again, this is a draft version. If we missed something, tell me. If if you love it, great. If not, that's fine. We're in this drafting stage. Would love to hear your thoughts on where we're at right now.
I like the fact that goal number 1 is to get some ADA.
Yeah.
We really lack in that, and I'm glad that we're making that goal number 1. Mm-hmm. We need to provide that in our community. So yeah, that's a wonderful. The goal and the objectives on that I was reading earlier is just perfect, right on target, mm-hmm. And the programming and community events. I think the residents. I think we've seen. Just starting from last year, the trunk or treat. This year, We've got a huge response already coming up in the next couple weeks. Yeah. And we announced today the buck pull, August 15th and 16th, which is, we're not charging anybody anything, we're not paying anything, we're just gonna have people come. Yeah. And it's already getting huge traction across.
That's super exciting.
So I think that the goals and objectives in here are we're fulfilling the needs of what the community is asking for. Now they're asking for a winter event, so we got to come up with something for the winter, guys. Ice skating rink or something, but it's right on target. I didn't see anything there that was questionable or anything like that. I couldn't really think of anything to add. What about you guys? Anybody have anything?
No, I think it's good.
No, I think it's great.
When you said that there was like a 3.5% engagement rate from the community?
4.7.
Oh, 4.7.
Yeah.
Okay, so so it's 3.5, which is the average in communities that you see?
We usually aim for 3 to 4, and sometimes, especially in these smaller communities, it's hard to get even that much. So I'm really impressed by this number, and I like I said, testament to probably your Facebook page.
We push it, and we And every time people come into the office, I'm like, if you can't do it online, here's the
Yeah,
paper version.
yep, we
bring it
had
back to
options.
us. And we got a few paper versions back, and
Yeah.
I think the community got excited about
Yeah.
it too. The people that are really involved, and Lisa took it over. You took it to the Washington Life Center,
Yeah.
and we got some responses from them. So
So is the, I think it was 162, maybe I wrote it down right,
Yeah.
but is that households? I can't remember how the survey read. Is it households or is it just individuals?
That was 162 individual surveys.
Okay, so it wasn't tied to, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was just, and I was looking at other communities, it just seems like a small percentage, do you know, that, I know you said that and we talked about that, but it just seems like such a small percentage of people responded, but.
Yeah.
I know you said it's a good number.
Yeah, I mean-
But.
well, we got a better percentage on the surveys than we get at our meetings.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, and that's what I mean, and that's what we talked about, so, and we were just, I was just meeting,
Thank you,
with a group of
Mr.
people on
Comment.
Monday, and, they were Cottrellville residents.
Yeah.
And they had said, it's an odd dynamic here, because things happen, and after they happen, people are like, oh, I wish I would've known about that. And I don't know, like, we had the tire thing, and there's a tire out on the street when I drove here, and I was thinking to myself, how does it happen that these people didn't know,
Right.
It's frustrating, I guess,
I
think
picked up
it's.
23 tires throughout the community.
Well, that's what I mean, but I don't, it seems like people, it's difficult, I suppose, to get the word out, and so, again, I'm not shocked by the 4.7 or whatever it is, but I wish more people would get involved, so it's
Yeah.
nice that these programs might draw more people to the community.
yeah,
So-
I will say, I'm not going to name what city. We just did a master plan for, I think it was a community that has like 40,000 residents, and we got 200 responses.
Yeah,
So it,
that's-
like,
that's
this is
what
like really,
yeah.
it's very good. I know it seems small, but it's very good. It's hard to get people's attention these
I know.
days. We
Yeah.
tried, in-person options and digital. And the good news is that if, they didn't have a chance to participate in the survey, I'm going to talk about it in a second, they still have time to weigh in both on the Parks and Rec plan and then on the master plan. The master plan process is going to be running through
August next year.
through August of next year, so there's plenty more time. And so, yeah, if you have ideas for how to engage different communities, or if there's specific groups that we can be promoting this to more closely, I would really appreciate that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, thanks.
Again, I think I wish that, I hope that now if we have more programs, more people will come.
Yeah, and having events like that where people can gather, those are perfect places to spread the word. So at Trunk or Treat, that can be like, hey, if you're there, you can be like, we have this Parks and Rec plan. At that point, it'll be open for public comment. So like those, I think word of mouth things are also really effective.
Perfect. No, I love it. And I didn't know if I was supposed to forward the draft to you guys yet or not, but I can forward it to you guys if you guys are ready. I will say this, that going through it, it is extremely more comprehensive than any past Parks and Rec plan that this community has had, that I from what I could tell. It's in depth and provides a lot of detail. Compared to the last one. I think the last one was more like a pamphlet than a.
Yeah, and we built off of the knowledge that was generated from that plan, and, we have more capacity this time. And so, you should be proud of the work that has been done in the past, but, this, I think, really showcases the great parks that you have.
If you only print on one page, it's that thick, of 8 by 10. It's very comprehensive, and I'm looking forward to putting it to good use, to get some grants. That's the main goal with it, so.
Exactly.
Great job.
Awesome.
Nobody else has anything on the goals and objectives.
Okay. And again, there will be plenty more time to weigh in. I'm going to go through kind of like the board's roles for helping to get this plan moving forward, and then I'll talk about that 30-day public comment period. And again, you all are members of the public, and so if you think of things or you hear things from community members that you want to integrate into the plan, we can certainly do that. So in terms of roles and responsibilities, this is they're kind of wordy slides. Again, I'll send out the slides after the fact, but just to give you a sense of the board's role in this plan and getting it moving forward. Give us feedback on the draft plan. Yeah, you can go ahead and forward that draft plan to them. As you're moving through, if you think of things big or small, jot them down, send them to me, and we'll make sure they're addressed. When we start getting comments from the public, or if you hear comments from the public during the 30-day review period, you can document those, you can send them my way. Again, those are all things we want to be able to collect as much as we can from the community around what they think. If any of those comments, we'll sit down with our, project team, we'll move through every single comment, we'll, discuss how to incorporate them and in what ways, and we can modify the draft prior, after that 30-day comment period prior to adoption. After that public comment period, if the board decides draft plan is ready to go, we can set a public hearing where community members can again speak for or against the plan, weigh in with any last thoughts. Following that public hearing, we'll want to consider that plan for adoption. And so in terms of a timeline, we'll hope to get that 30-day comment period open later this month, have it extend through mid to end November, and then come to Township Board for a public hearing at that first meeting. I think it's December 10th.
Yes.
Okay, December 10th.
So we'll want to be able to publish it in the newspaper the third week of November.
The public hearing notice. Yes, you'll want to put the public hearing notice around the third week of November, and we'll publish the draft plan for public comment well before that.
Right. Well, I'm saying for the public hearing.
Exactly. So in terms of our next steps, I'll work with Greg and the clerks to open this plan for public comment. We will, notice that this plan is distributed to the public per state law. We'll also make sure the draft plan is available in addition to that posting in the newspaper. We'll have it on our project website. We'll have it on the township website. We'll have, I'll make sure a hard copy is available here at Township Hall. And then I think we should make use of that Facebook page, and we can announce it on there, since that seems like a good, watering hole for community members. And everyone everyone on the board, everyone in the community who's listening to this, any comments that you have can be sent directly to me, and I'll make sure that they're documented, discussed, and integrated.
I will say that our followers on that Facebook page are up to 750, but our average post view is 5,000.
So we'll get some traction.
It's actually, it's got traction, so.
Yeah, awesome. And then after that 30-day public comment period, again, we'll review, summarize, and consider all of those in the context of updating the plan. We will host a public hearing on that draft plan, which will be set and noticed by the township. And then following that public hearing, we will consider the plan for adoption. And then after adoption, we will begin plan implementation. It's ready to go. It's not a plan that's just going to sit there. It's ready. It'll be ready to be actionable right away. We can begin going after grant dollars pretty much right away.
Beautiful.
Okay, thanks so much for your time. We're really proud of how the plan stands right now, and we're excited to hear what the community thinks about it. And just want to give a huge thanks to the Township Board so far. Like, the staff has been incredible to work with, and I think we're on a really great track.
I'll say thank you and your team. I mean, the amount of time you guys have put in and the amount of time you guys had, I mean, it seems like we just started yesterday.
I know, it was quick.
and to read that plan at the stage it's at is incredible. So kudos. Thank you so much. We can't thank your team enough.
Yeah,
So,
team
and
effort.
you.
Yeah, team effort.
So.
But, all right, thank you
Any
so
other
much.
questions?
No,
Awesome.
thank you all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited.
I think it'll be
everybody knows
great.
I'm big on parks. I'm excited. I'm out there moving millings to make the parking lot bigger for the soccer. So, yeah, we're doing big things.
Well, thank you so much. I hope I'm your longest agenda item. I'm going to give you your screen.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Here, I'll put this back on the other thing. Oh.
you can.
You're good?
Yep, you can take me out.
Perfect. I don't know, we'll put our picture back up, and then I'll go on to this consent agenda. I like seeing the logo. All right. Well, thank you, Ashley. Moving on to item D, consent agenda. Approval of the Township Board minutes. We had a public hearing on August 13th. We had a regular meeting on September 10th, special meeting on Wednesday, September 24th, and closed session Wednesday, September 24th. Item number 2, approval of the treasurer's reports, the reconciliation of the tax count as of July, reconciliation of the general checking as of July, cash summary report by account for July, including funds 101, 204, 206, 207, 208, 210, 219, 226, 285, 297, 298, 590, 591, 593, 594, and 701. I'm not going to read all of them again. Item number D, Cottrellville Township investment report as of July. Our item number 3, approval of clerk's reports, the revenue and expenditure report for September of 2025, the approval of the paychecks for September of 2025 in the amount of $21,021.34. And the approval of accounts payables, we already paid $264,416.09. $2,856,046.87 in tax disbursements for a grand total of $3,120,462.96. We had correspondence from the Marine City Fire Authority for September. We had 50 total runs, or the Fire Authority had 50 total runs, with Cottrellville having 8, 5 medical emergencies, 2 motor vehicle accidents, and the carbon monoxide alarm. Any questions on the consent agenda, on the treasurer's reports or the clerk's reports? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
A second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg,
Yes.
Angela absent, Sarah, yes, Lisa? Yes. Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item E, open session. Anyone wishing to address the board regarding any agenda items may do so at this time.
Oh, we're coming.
We'll open that up at 8:07. And seeing none, we'll close it at 8:07. We'll move on to the board, committee, and department reports. We have the builder's report. I gotta find it in here because it's gonna be, should have been right up front. No. Hang on. Let me get to the page.
It's right after Marine City Fire Authority.
What's that?
Right after Marine City Fire Authority.
Is it? Well, I don't even know where that's at. Here we go.
I think you went too far.
Oh, I'm already into the,
Yeah, okay, no, he's flipping the one with this way.
there it is. There it is. We had 17 permits this month for $5,801.50. I was saying earlier, we've had more permits this year than we have had in several years. So we got a lot of things going on in the township, which is a good thing. I don't really have anything to report unless anybody has any questions on my opinion on this new state budget. I will say the state budget is not necessarily a bad thing as long as we get the full use of the road commission. We shouldn't have to match funds anymore for the regular road maintenance, which our portion of that was $81,000 this year. So that we lose $17,000 in revenue on the revenue sharing, but we gain back the road sharing, the shared funds. And as long as that takes place the way it's supposed to, I think we're gonna be in better shape. It's a net positive. Jay DeBoyer had spoke with me about that and explained to me how it's supposed to work. So we'll cross our fingers and hope that that's how it all plays out. So that's it for the reports. I'll move on to unfinished business. We have the proposal from Tax.my.gov, tabled till December 2025, so there's nothing for us to discuss in unfinished business. Now close unfinished business and move into new business. Item number 1, request to approve payment of annual dues for the Michigan Municipal Treasurers Association in the amount of $99. I'll entertain a motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion to approve the $99 Michigan Municipal Treasurers Association.
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please?
Greg?
Yes.
Angela, absent. Sarah, yes. Lisa?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 2, request to approve payment for the 4 hourly employees for the 8 hours lost each due to the office shutdown on September 8th related to the injured hawk accident destroying our well. Basically, the insurance doesn't cover the work loss. We had to close the office because we didn't have water that day. It was no fault of those employees. I'll make the motion to approve the payment to the 4 hourly employees for the 8 hours lost. It was due to no fault of their own.
I'll second.
Any questions, any discussion? If not, I'll call for a roll call vote. Wait.
So I was just curious. So, are they bound to a certain amount of hours? Or would they have been able to make up that time in the next week? Or come in another day? Like, could they have come in on a Friday instead? I don't
Well,
know.
it would be open office hours.
I know, I didn't know, but I don't know if anybody would be able to come in and work. That's that, I didn't know that.
It's really hard because
Their jobs require them to be here during open hours,
I
like
see.
they're talking
Okay.
to people, so,
I see.
like my job, like I can work from home because
Okay.
I'm not required to be here during open
It's
hours. I
working.
can-
just gotta talk closer into it, Lisa.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I
so they,
didn't know. I
yeah, their
didn't know.
job, a lot of their job, like, Amy who sits up front, it's just answering people as they come
I
in,
see.
answering phones,
I see.
doing stuff like that. so.
Okay.
So,
I
yeah, it was
didn't
due to
know.
no fault of their own, obviously. I mean, when the sewer pipe backed up and they left half a day, we didn't cover their wages. And then a couple weeks later, making them not come into work because of the water. It begins to be not fair to them because they're already only working a certain amount of hours. So, yeah, I mean, we have a motion and a second. Now call for a roll call vote.
Okay. Greg?
Yes.
Angela, absent. Sarah, yes. Lisa?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 3, we request to approve the recommendation submitted to increase the NSF fee from $40 to $50.
Yeah, so that, I'm asking for that to be increased because through the years, that amount has gone up, what we're charged through the bank for NSF fees, but we've never raised our fees. And so we just need to come back in line with
What we're being
what
charged
we're
for.
being charged. So,
I'll entertain a motion to approve the increase from $40 to $50.
Motion to increase the NSF fee from $40 to $50.
I'll second.
Do you have a second? Roll call vote, please.
Greg?
Yes.
Angela, absent. Sarah, yes. Lisa?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 4, request to approve payment of prepaid postage fees for the winter 2025 tax bills payable with KCI in the amount of $740. We pay it every time we send out the bills, or the tax bills. I'll entertain a motion to approve the prepaid postage.
I will make the motion to approve the prepaid postage for the tax bills.
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please?
Greg?
Yes.
Angela, absent. Sarah, yes. Lisa?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 5, request to approve payment of invoice 118960 payable to Kirk Huth, Lang, and Badalamenti in the amount of $747.50. Basically, I'll give you my report on it. I think I talked to the attorney twice on that bill last month, last month. One of them was on the Blanchard case, and that one should be just about settled. I mean, we've come to an agreement. They're just combining their lots. And the other phone call, I think, had to do with legal matters regarding ZBA and Planning Commission. I'll entertain a motion to pay the attorney in the amount of $747.50. Do I have a motion?
I'll motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Which one do you want?
Any more discussion and questions? I will mention that our attorney fees are considerably less this year, to date, so we're good there. So, all in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg?
Yes.
Angela absent. Sarah, yes. Lisa?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 6, request to approve the payment of the St. Clair County Water Supply System number 12, Series 2008 bond debt retirement interest payment in the amount of $5,587.50. Do I have a motion to pay the water supply system bond?
I'll motion.
Do I have a second?
I will second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg?
Yes.
Angela absent. Sarah, yes. Lisa?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 7, request to approve the payment for the St. Clair County Water Supply System number 12A, series of the 2009 bond debt retirement. In interest payment in the amount of $10,281.25. Do I have a motion to pay that?
I will motion.
I'll second. All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg?
Yes.
Angela absent. Sarah, yes. Lisa?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 8, request for approval of resolution R 2025-14. A resolution to adopt ordinance number 17V-2025, an ordinance to amend the B2 General Business District to authorize and regulate mobile food vending units, also known as food trucks. This is an ordinance that has been worked on for the last 2 years. If you looked in the packet, the planning commission wrote this with the previous setup, and they approved it earlier this year, and we sent it to the County Metro Planning Commission for approval, and they concurred with no changes. They agreed with the approval. So, are there any questions on it?
So they can't have one unless they have a permit, right?
No, yeah, well, technically now they're supposed to have a permit, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So we based on the ordinance, we issue the permits and they pay, they show us their licenses and stuff. And that, I think that's more for regular food trucks that want to hang out in the community. Say somebody wants to park at one of the parks, there's not an event, then they need to be permitted to do that.
Okay.
I think it's basically more for food safety regulations and safety regulations, so we know what's going on in the community.
Well, it looks like they have to be licensed, right? So,
Yeah, well, food trucks have to be licensed anyway,
right,
so
they would have all their,
it just makes sense that they just register with us, like a builder. So, yeah, if there's no other questions on that, it's been through the old process, it's been posted, there's been a public hearing on it. We just need to approve it. Do I have a motion to approve resolution R 2025-14?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Okay, Greg?
Yes.
Angela absent. Sarah, yes. Lisa?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 9, request for approval of resolution R 2025-15. Resolution to adopt ordinance 17U 2025. An ordinance to amend Article 13 of the Cottrellville Township zoning ordinance to provide for the regulation of gun clubs and sport shooting ranges. Another ordinance that has been worked on for a couple of years to get the wording right. And the planning commission had wrapped that up earlier this year again. And it was published, the public hearing was held. And it was sent to the Metro Planning Commission for concurrence on approval, and which they have with no changes. Just a quick rundown, I'll tell you, it basically, you can't have a public shooting range unless you have 21 acres, unless it's indoor. Which is pretty good ordinance. I mean, it doesn't affect homeowners from plinking in their backyard. It's more for people trying to run a public range where they're charging people. We didn't have anything in our ordinances regulating that, so this was a good change. You all right?
I'm here.
So if there's no questions on that, I'll entertain a motion to approve Resolution R 2025-15.
A motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg.
Yes.
Angela, absent. Sarah, yes. Lisa?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 10 is the request for approval of Resolution R 2025-16, which is a resolution to adopt an amendment to ordinance number 13, Article 115.005, which is the recreational camper vehicles, and to establish permit and inspection fees. We already approved this ordinance, but we didn't approve a resolution for the ordinance, so this is the final process on that. So we already approved it. Once we approve it and the building official gets his hands on it, then he can put together the inspection fees and present it to us, and then we can set the inspection fees based on his recommendation. So, I'll entertain a motion to approve Resolution R 2025-16.
I'll motion to approve.
I'll second. Any other discussion? All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg.
Yes.
Angela, absent. Sarah, yes. Lisa?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 11, this is the resolution to approve, or Resolution R 2025-17, which is the resolution to establish the capital improvement fund that we approved creating. That would be just the resolution to approve what we already approved. Do I have a motion to approve Resolution R 2025-17?
A motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg? Angela, absent. Sarah, yes. Lisa?
Yes.
And Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 12, request for approval of Resolution R 2025-18. A resolution relative to request for federal and state bridge replacement funds. We already approved the resolution on this, but it was for fiscal year 2028. I might as well announce now that we did get the bridge funds for Arnold Road Bridge in between Starville and McKinley. Our portion is roughly $33,000. I'll get to a caveat in a second. We're approved for 2028. We asked if we could get the funds sooner. There's a couple projects that aren't going to happen next year. They've told us that we have the funds now to fix Arnold Road in 2026. So for all of you at home that are asking me all the time, when's Arnold Road gonna be fixed? Next year. The caveat to that is we're gonna approve this. I talked with Jennifer at the Road Commission today or yesterday, might have been yesterday, and asked her about the new state budget now includes a considerable amount of more money for the state bridge funds, which is to include matching funds from the communities. So we might not have to pay the matching funds. We don't know because those things are still being signed through legislation, but that's the way it reads. We're going to improve that fund anyway, just in case, because we already said we would pay it if we had to. So this is just changing the date from 2028 to 2026 on getting our road fixed. Are there any questions? No? I'll entertain a motion to approve Resolution R 2025-18.
A motion.
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg?
Yes.
Angela, absent. Sarah, yes. Lisa?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 13, request to approve payment of invoice number 590 payable to Osterlin Construction as a first payment on the Shortcut Road Park building project. To be paid from the remaining ARPA funds of $45,906.19 and from the capital improvement fund of $9,093.81. As you can see, he's already started the project. There's another item later on for the second payment because he got the steel, and the steel will be done by the end of this week. the building's going fast, it's getting put up.
Looking good.
So, are there any questions?
Do they have a timeframe?
A what?
A timeframe when the thing could be done?
He'll be done with the rough by Friday.
Okay.
And the door, that means doors and windows should be in by Friday. The steel came on Monday, and because we only meet once a month,
Well, they weren't working.
he submitted the second one, which we'll get to cover the steel. Which really we're still under, I think, $80,000 of outlay so far on the 197 that we're at, but we'll have a caveat to that too in a little bit, which we'll talk about that in a minute. But, yeah, no, that covered all the rough framing and all of that, and, so yeah, I'll entertain a motion the building looks wonderful. So I entertain a motion to, approve the payment of the first invoice number 590.
I'll motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg?
Yes.
Angela, absent. Sarah, yes. Lisa?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 4, request to approve resolution BR-2025-2026-03. A resolution to amend the Cottrellville Township budget fiscal year ending March 31st, 2026, approved on March 12th, 2025, and amended on July 19th, 2025. We're a month behind on this. We were gonna do this last month. I can't remember why we didn't. But yeah, we went over in a couple things and we're well under on a couple things. So as we do every quarter, we amend the budget. Did anybody have any questions on that? Lisa, did you get to go over that? Chris, you good? If there's no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution BR-2025-2026-03.
Motion?
Do I have a second? I'll second. All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg?
Yes.
Angela, absent. Sarah, yes. Lisa?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to item number 14 on the additions. Request to approve amendment to the board agenda policy. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Can you give me 1 second? I just.
Oh, sure. Do you want
myself
this?
mixed up.
Here, do you want this?
214s.
Okay, is that what's throwing me off here?
Yes. So everything on the
Right.
additions needs.
15, 16,
Oh,
17, yep.
15, yes.
Oh, is there a typo?
Should be 15.
Yeah, it looks like.
14, oh yeah, it should be 15, so this is 15.
Right.
So we actually have 20.
Okay.
So we're at 15.
Yep.
16.
These are all one
I'll
off.
do. Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to be Angela's job too.
Sure.
It's throwing me off.
I get it.
Well, if she was here, she would have caught it. She would have said, I made another typo.
Okay, so.
So
right
this is
now,
item
14 is
15.
actually 15,
Yeah.
this is 16,
Yep.
17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, now I'm ready for you. So 15 is to approve the board agenda. Okay, so
Yep.
I will motion that.
And Chris seconded, oh, yeah, no, wait, Lisa motion.
Yep. And-
Yeah, Lisa motion.
Yep.
Chris seconded. We're on the roll call vote. Yes.
I'm trying.
Yeah, hey, we're doing great.
Doug.
Yes.
Angela, absent. Sarah, yes. Lisa,
Yes.
and Chris.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 16, request to approve a work order change for the Shortcut Road Park Building Project for a change in the required electrical services for roughly the amount of $10,000 or less to be paid from the capital improvement fund and reimbursed from the fire fund. I'll explain to everybody what's going on. DT called me again. Because it's considered a secondary commercial structure, we have to install conduit from the transformer box here at the back of the parking lot to the building where the second transformer is gonna go. They'll run the wire through our conduit. The conduit is roughly and this is where I'm confused, is with labor is roughly $5 a foot. So it comes to roughly 3,500 feet. It's 773 or 673 feet. It's a change order through the current electrician has been the project, to do the electrical anyway. But the extra amount is also, we need to go, I think we're gonna go from a 320 residential can based on this setup to a CT commercial can, which increases the cost, I think $2,500 too. And what that'll allow us to do is, we could run a carnival back there at this point with the electrical that's gonna be back there. So any future electrical that we have, we don't have to pay for in the future if we have to upgrade it. It is going to be there. So we can run power to the pavilions, we can put street lights up in the parking lot, the power is available. Because we have to run the line that we have to run, it only makes sense to do it now, because if we do it later, it's 4 times the cost from DTE to change it. And then to be reimbursed from the fire fund, since 35 by 20 feet of the building is dedicated to a fire truck, we are allowed to use our Act 33 funds for part of the building. We can use up to $54,000 of Act 33 funds for the building. We have a little bit of extra left in the fire fund right now, because we've been transferring money over every year. We only transferred $10,000 this year, so there's a little bit left in the fund. Plus, we'll have a little bit left that we can repay the general fund, or the capital improvement fund from the fire fund after the next round of taxes. It doesn't come to much, but we'll discuss that again when we get to item 18. So yeah, I mean, DTE kind of stuck it to us again. It's all over the place. I still don't have it in writing. But we're at 21.6 for the wire, and then the additional up to $10,000 for the conduit and the CT box. So yeah, are there any questions?
No, I wish I knew more about it. It seems unreal that they wouldn't have known that when we first asked them to bid it.
Well,
I don't.
I had to call my cousin. He's kind of up there in DTE planning. Because when did I start talking to DTE? In March?
Yeah.
And for the last 2 months since he told me $20,600, I haven't gotten anything in writing. Can't get a phone call back. I had to call my cousin. My cousin called the Dominic supervisor, Colleen. Colleen called me and said, I'm gonna have him take care of it right away. He called us the next day. We had to meet with Sideline Electric, John, and so that we were sure on what we could install. And because it's a secondary, this is considered a commercial building, and we're running secondary off of the transformer that kind of runs this building, we're required to run conduit. And it's like 700 feet, or like 700 feet.
Yeah, you said, yeah. It's
And
expensive.
I was gonna dig it myself and then just have them bury the conduit, but it would take me like 4 or 5 days. For $300 or $400, they can rent the trencher, and they can put the pipe down as they trench it, so it's really not that much more money. I'm not saving anything by digging the trench myself. Because I said if it was gonna save a bunch of money, I'd dig the trench myself. I got a trenching bucket. But they say, what's it gonna save, a couple $100, and it's gonna take you 5 days? I said, yeah, you're right. So, DT's just all over the place. And I hear this from a lot of people in the community that try to deal with
It's hard to
Dominic.
believe. Yeah.
So, but the extra cost comes in from the conduit, and then we're upgrading to the CT can, because we would only be able to run like 200 amp service if we run the 320 residential can, which we're allowed to do, but we're not powering anything. We're powering the lights and the electrical. When we put the well and septic in, then it starts getting tight. So if we go ahead and upgrade to the CT can now, we have the availability for the well and possible recycled splash pad. We have the power. We'll have the power to power a recycled water splash pad if we so get the grant money, or we choose to do something like that. Put lights up in the parking lot. We might as well make the improvement now.
Yeah.
This $10,000 price point here, That's not, that doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be 10,000.
No, I'm asking for another 10 grand, up to 10,000.
Okay.
If it comes to more than 10, I gotta come back and ask you guys. But right now, I was told $3,500 and $2,000 to $3,000 more for the CT cam. So, and in all honesty, I already have 25,000. So it's actually gonna be less than the 10,000 that I'm asking for because I have roughly 25,000 minus $250 for Semco, because Semco's only cost us $250 to hook up the gas. So I got 24,750 bucks. I'm just going above rather than having to wait, just in case we run into an issue and it's a little bit more. I don't have to call an emergency meeting to approve the funds. And like I say, I'll kind of explain where the 10,000, where I'm looking at the 10,000, and it can come from this decision tonight or next month. But it can come from the Act 33 funds, is basically where I'm at, because where part of the building can be paid for with that, because it's housing a fire truck, and that's allowable under the Act 33 funds. So, yeah, I'll entertain a motion. If it ends up being more than that, I'm gonna drag Dominic in by his ear and he can explain it to you guys. Cause I'm getting fed up. But,
Yeah, I'll make the motion to approve the work order change for up to $10,000.
I'll second.
all in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg,
Yes.
Angela absent, Sarah, yes, Lisa,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 17, request for approval to refer the Rumenap Trust water billing dispute to the township attorney for recovery action. Mrs. Rumenap's brother's been in a couple times. Not very pleasant. Thinks water should be free. And so we're not getting anywhere. We haven't gotten a response from Mrs. Rumenap. You saw the letter that I sent her. We've given her a discount from 300. Yeah, I mean, we gave her basically what we're paying for the water, and I've probably been generous on the gallons of water. I mean, it's probably closer to 16 million gallons rather than 13,733. But this is a once in a lifetime thing that happens to somebody. I don't know if you've seen the video, Lisa, of the water leak. And in good conscience, I can't just let that go and have the rest of the community have to fund that water main, that water leak under somebody's house. So I want to turn it over to the attorney over to Mr. Huth to start some kind of recovery, whatever we can get. I mean, it's gonna go to court. I think we all talked to the insurance, to Dustin when we talked about that, and we couldn't claim it on the insurance, because it's technically, according to our ordinance, from the shut off to the house is the owner's responsibility, and that's according to our ordinance. So I'll entertain a motion to turn this over to the attorney for litigation.
no motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg,
Yes.
Angela absent, Sarah, yes, Lisa,
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 18, discussion and possible action on renewal of the Iowa Township Fire Department service contract. I met with Chief Mike in Ira, I think their name was Frank for their fire department liaison, and Jim Endres, Supervisor Endres this morning. They cover a small district, west of Starville Road to Mayor Road, from 26 Mile Road to Angling Road. And we pay roughly $4,000 is this year. The contract ends December 31st. Part of the discussions we had when bringing a fire truck to the community and building this building was Marine City Fire Authority would be able to handle the whole township. I'll tell you kind of how the discussions were today and the points they brought up. And I'm gonna leave it to you guys whether we make a motion today or whether we ask for somebody to come speak to us. We have until next meeting to make a decision before we have to, let dispatch know to change who gets dispatched for the area because it ends December 31st. What they said is they're staffed 24 hours, you know, they've got a crew in the fire department 24 hours a day. Marine City's more on-call volunteer. I mean, we have volunteers here, they live, eight of them live within a mile of here. We have the rescue truck in the township right up the street most of the day and whatnot. We'll have the fire truck in the building. They're 3 miles to the edge of the township on the west from here. Ira Township is 5.5 miles to the edge of the township from their fire hall.
When you say that Marine City is volunteer,
But they're not volunteer, they're paid on call.
okay, so they have an on-call schedule, like it's
Yes.
not like there's ever any breaks in coverage?
No,
or-
they have an on-call schedule, where they're supposed to be on call.
Okay,
And I'll be honest with you, you know, he did, Chief Mike, and I can't pronounce his last name off the top of my head, but Chief Mike over in Ira, you know, had mentioned, you know, there was a couple missed calls and it was due to dispatching, mistakes with the dispatching. And, however it happened, whatever, we were late on a couple calls. Their calls take priority, or whatever call they're on first takes priority. So if they're on another call in Ira Township or Casco, then they're not gonna come anyway, that Marine City's gonna show up anyway, that's what mutual aid's for. They just pointed out that they're staffed 24 hours a day. I think we had it was either 22 or 27 calls so far this year, which normally we average 15. We did have 3 or 4 fatal accidents that they attended to. Marine City showed up to a couple calls kind of at the same time. But where this goes into is we budget roughly $15,000 a year for the contract and the calls, because we pay a per call fee. If we don't renew the contract, then it gives us a little bit extra in the budget moving forward. Plus, like I said, we have the Marine City Fire Authority are going to be in our building. The other thing that Marine City Fire Authority is doing is they're upgrading the radio systems at the Marine City Fire Hall, and they would like to move the older radio system to this hall. All we'd have to do is buy an antenna. So we would also have a radio system here for dispatch for the firefighters here at this hall.
but we wouldn't have firefighters.
They wouldn't be staying in here all the time. But there'd be a radio service there if they needed it. That way everybody's covered. That's just one of the things that we're putting in that regardless. Whether we do this contract or not, that's going in there. I mean, regardless whether we renew the contract or not, Marine City Fire Authority is going in there. It's just we pay for the service. I think we've paid for it for close to 20 some odd years. It's good. It goes up about 2 or 2.5% a year. So I think next year's gonna be $4,100 if we renew it. Are there any questions? I mean,
Okay, so I'm curious to hear what Chief Singster has to say, like, if he feels equipped that,
I will tell you in my discussions with him that he does feel that he can handle it, especially with the 8 firefighters within a mile of this building. They're closer to this building than they are to the fire hall there. So when they're on call, generally, you know, there's a rescue truck right here and then the tanker truck right here. 2 of these 8 guys, when they're on call, can come grab this truck, and Chief can go grab the other fire truck if needed. So guys can already be on the scene putting out a fire while the other fire truck is being brought. So he feels confident that the coverage is there. I also spoke with Dave Annenbosch. Dave feels the same way.
and Dave was the assistant, or the.
Dave is the assistant fire chief. Chief Sangster was going to be here tonight, but I don't know if I think I told you, and I don't know if you had heard,
They had definitely-
Chief Slankster's mom passed away yesterday morning. And so it's understandable why he's not here tonight. He was going to talk to you guys and tell you, but I mean, in my conversations, I sit on the chair, I'm the vice chair of the fire authority, and Chief Slankster and I've asked these questions before we even brought this up.
You said it's, we pay them by call?
Ira Township, yeah, we pay them roughly $4,000 a year, and then per call, depending on what type of call it is, if it's a motor vehicle accident, one of them's 150, one's 250. I think motor vehicle accidents are 250, fires or those kind of calls are 150. They did ask me today why aren't we billing the insurance companies? Because our charter doesn't allow us to bill the insurance companies anymore for their calls, that we pay for. So yeah, again, I'll leave it up to you guys if you want to hear more information from Chief Slankster to see if,
I would be more comfortable waiting to hear from.
because we can put it on the agenda for next month, and we can make a decision next month, because I need 30 days, Tina at dispatch in Port Huron needs 30 days to switch the district over to I4R, whatever it is, and instead of IRA, it would be M4R, which would be Marine City for that. It's like 5 square miles, maybe. So it's maybe it's a few more square miles than that, but it's literally 1 mile from west of Starville to Mayor, from Marine City Highway and they go all the way down to Anglin Road.
I mean, we own a portion of Marine City Fire Authority, so I think it would make sense for us to exclusively use them, but like I said, I'm not an expert in this. I would just feel more comfortable if we had Chief Slankster and just hearing him say that he's got this, it's okay.
I'm good with that, and I told Supervisor Andres and I told Chief Mike that I don't let you guys, if you guys want to hear from Ira, they'll come in and speak too.
I think that's a good idea, kind of here.
Give you guys the heads up so that you guys know what's going on. But that was my meeting today. And so, yeah, I mean, then if that's what we want to do, we want to hear from both chiefs. I'm good with that. I'll entertain a motion to table this discussion until next meeting, and it'll go under old business. Do I have a motion to table?
I will make the motion to table that.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Hang on, I gotta be caught up. Chris was the motion, Lisa was the second. Okay, Greg,
Yes.
Angela, absent. Sarah, yes. Lisa,
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
Okay. Table until the next meeting. Motion carries. Item number 19. Request for the approval of payment of second installment of the Shortcut Road Park Building Project, payment for the external steel siding and roof to be paid from the capital improvement fund in the amount of $21,920. Steel came on Monday. We're basically just paying for it. So yeah, the rough framing is done. They're putting the steel up. I think they probably got 60% of it up. And yeah, doors and windows should be in by the end of the week. So I'll entertain a motion to pay the second installment for the steel of $21,920. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to pay the second installment for the steel.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg,
Yes.
Angela, absent. Sarah, yes. Lisa,
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 20, request to approve payment for invoice 202-53440 from Philpack and Company for September 2025. Accounting services provided in the amount of $1,000. Anything we need to know? I mean,
He helped me, there were some accounting issues, that was carrying over from month to month that.
Well, just tell everybody what it was. Tell them it was my taxes that I paid that screwed up the accounting
You
system.
were one of the mess ups. It wasn't him personally, but the credit card company messed up one of his payments. So anyway, so they helped me figure that out, and so we have, so they helped me with, balancing, June, July, and August, and I am happy to say we have bid now,
Beautiful.
and yeah, that's the bill for that.
I'll make, any questions on that? I'll make the motion to approve payment to Phil Peck and Company for $1,000.
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg,
Yes.
Angela absent, Sarah, yes, Lisa,
Yes?
Chris.
Yes.
Motion carries. Teach me to pay my taxes on time.
You did pay him on time.
I was the first one to pay them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it wasn't on you, it was just, the whole thing got messed up.
With no further new business, I will open up public comments at 8:50.
Got
Nothing?
anything for us?
Nothing? I'll close public.
Got anything?
I'll close public comments at 8:50. I'll open up, board comments or announcements. I'll start. Announcements, we got the trunk or treat coming up on Friday, the 24th. Memories of Motion is helping us put that together. It's a kind of a joint venture. They managed to get a bunch of sponsorship dollars, and so we're just gonna support them and use of the park. We're doing the buck pull this year, November 15th and 16th. Another free event. We're not asking for money. We're not taking money. We're not going to spend money. People bring chili. We're going to get some food trucks, have some fires. The Pheasants Forever providing a BB gun trailer for the youth to come out and shoot some BB guns.
Sweet.
And get some practice in. You know, a lot of the residents today, they want something. The DNR is going to be there. They've asked for something. So, hey, we're going to give it to them. I don't have any other announcements. So, anybody else have any comments or announcements? No? If not, we'll move on and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay, any opposed? Okay, motion carries, adjourned.